So we are back with another twister from the same Mister moment. I'm B, the big
I'm
twist.
T. Oh, sorry.
And I'm
Go
K
ahead.
Rone. Karan.
Okay, for today's episode, we are interviewing yet another one. Well, one of our siblings who has a similar experience to what we've had coming into this family with the Mister. So we want to introduce to you our big brother, Karan.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
what we want to know, we've told our story on how we came to be in this situation. Um, so, how did your story pan out? How did you get here?
Well, I got here through two people that was being fast and hot and I don't know, whatever words you want to choose, but my parents they was young and having fun and created, this nice young man here, which take all compliments. Anyway, yeah, so kind of the same thing. Pops was young, doing his thing, and didn't know too much about him at the time until I got older. And I found out about him in my teenage years and reached out to him. He never denied, he welcomed me in. So I was, excited to meet him and see what's the story, what happened in between those years, and kind of filled me in because there's always two sides to everything. I only had one side, so I was missing out on a lot. Didn't know I had a lot of other brothers and sisters, and there's a lot of things that I didn't know. I was curious, so yeah. So met him when I was teenage years.
What age?
I think I was what? I was 17. Yeah, I was like 17. I knew about him, but first time meeting him, I think I was 17.
What age do you think that you found out about him that he was?
I was probably about 13, 14. Yeah, 13, 14. I had found out that, who he was and, he had family on the out on the south side and cousins and stuff because they was coming around, but like I said, I didn't know my mother and of course my auntie and uncle and them, they knew about him, but it was all like a hush hush, be quiet, don't talk about it, whatever. But yeah, when I found out about it, I was excited to meet him and get to know my other half or the other side of my family. And yeah, been constantly still learning and finding out, meeting new brothers and sisters, and yeah, I got his side of the story, which like I say, I'm grown now, so no spilled milk there. I mean, it is what it is. I got my own family now, so it's like, hey, I understand because it happens.
Right.
But just glad that I did get a chance to meet them, my sisters and brothers, before anything happened. You never know. We probably synced each other 20, 20, 30 times and never knew them. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of pretty much it. I found out about them at a later age, connected with them, and yeah, kind of keep a connection, keep some type of relationship going with them. Even though we distant and he there, I'm here, far apart, but yeah, whenever we meet, it's a good thing. Yeah, we have a good time.
So, you said you were about like 13, 14 when you first found out about him, but you were about 17 when you reached out. Is that right?
Yeah, well, when I first met him, I think I was yeah, I was about 17. He finally
Okay.
came to visit me, and we kicked it. It still was kind of awkward and hard because, like I said, I don't know him, he don't know me, so it was still kind of rocky. It took some time to adjust to it because it was like, wow, it's new to me. And
Yeah.
what I had already been through and experienced, my emotions and feelings was all upside down everywhere. I didn't know how to feel. Should I embrace them? Should I hate them? Should I was kind of like just, wow, what the hell going on? But
So,
yeah, I grew into it. I got older. Like I said, I heard the different stories, different people. When I finally got his version, his side, it kind of put some closure to it, and I had a little more peace of mind about it. I wasn't just going off of hearsay or what they say. I got it, it's his side, and like I say, I took it for what it was. I just was glad I did get a chance to meet him. Now I know kind of where I get some of my ways from, and I can't say it's all me. I can't point the finger at me. I got somebody else to blame. You know what I'm saying? Blame it on my dad. It's his fault.
Did you have an active father as a child? Did you have someone in
I did, but it didn't change anything. I did, but it just was like a bittersweet moment because now I'm like, how do I respond? How do I act? Knowing that all this time this wasn't my dad, but he never denied it. It just man, deceit, like it's like betrayal. Like wow, like I guess they figured like you didn't. It didn't matter as long as you was well taken care of. You didn't need to know. You young, but I feel like it was a betrayal to me. It's like man, I could have told me the truth. Yeah, let me handle. Let me be the judge of how I feel. But yeah, my stepdad, like I said, he raised me all the way up into shit. My mom got divorced. I respect him, love him, and to this day, we still got a relationship. He still my dad, you know what I'm saying? Other than my dad, but that's all I had ever knew. So that
Yeah.
can't change. I can't take that away. That was my dad for who anybody was.
right?
So I don't make him feel no less of a dad or a man because he took care of me most of my life. So I still reach out to him, send him Happy Father's Day, go check on. That's our relationship. That's what we had, and it's gonna be that way. Ain't nothing gonna change that.
Right.
So, did you ever feel at any point, especially like early on, that by choosing to get to know Papa G and pursuing a relationship with him, that it was going to be a betrayal to the dad that raised you?
Yeah, I did because, like I said, he was the only person that I knew, and for me to try to reconnect with you know Greg and start something with him, like it's kind of too late. What I'm saying, I learned how to ride a bike. Excuse me, I'm on the phone. I learned how to ride a bike. What I'm saying, met this he taught me a lot of different things. So it was kind of like, well, I don't really need you to teach me anything or tell me anything. I pretty much got it all from my dad, but
Yeah.
we can still have some type of grown man conversations and relationship. You know.
So after you found out about dad and everything, did you and your stepfather have a conversation? Um, like like
Nah,
I just did you guys have a conversation or did you just go on with life? Like I'm not gonna let you go. You're still gonna be dad. But was there any type of like heartfelt conversation that you all had where he says, I'm glad you found your daddy, but I'm still gonna be here type thing?
yeah, that's pretty real. That's pretty much how it went. He's like, man, I'm glad you met your dad. Found out about him, but I'm always gonna be your dad. So that was like the best response and feeling he could ever said, knowing that I found my dad and I started having a relationship with him. He didn't care. He was just like, hey, I hope that gave you some peace, and you know, just remember I'm still here. I'm your dad. Nothing changed, and that's why I say that was a good feeling to know that he didn't have no resentment or felt like I betrayed him as well. And like I say, even when I found out, he never denied it. He now that the cat out the bag, and I know you're not my dad. He still say, "Oh no, I'm your dad." I don't know what they talking about. So
Right.
that just gave me a good warm feeling, like I got two dads now. I mean, I felt like, hey, I'm special now.
Do you think that kind of changed? Did it do anything with your relationship with your mom? Like, did it cause any kind of strife? Were you angry or resentful with her?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. That's kind of where the turn came because she had her version. She didn't want I guess hurt me, but she don't know it was hurting me because she was trying to keep it a secret, maybe because she was hurt
right,
from how the relationship ended or started, whatever. I don't know what was the case. That's their situation. But like I say, you put me in the middle of it and kept me in the dark, and it hurt me more than she even know, just by not telling me the truth. And I got others, brothers and sisters out here that you deprive me from that because you didn't want me to know about this man that y'all didn't work out. Okay, that ain't gonna do me. That's the thing, y'all. I'm past that. But what about my other half of my family that I want to, cousins and uncles that I want to hang out with. So yeah, it was a little resentment there. Mad at her and felt like she betrayed me as well. And then, like I say, I guess she had to do what she had to do at a young age to woman up and like, hey, no matter what, I'm gonna take care of you. You mind this and that. Okay, so I look at it from both persons' perspective. She had to make a choice that she thought was best for herself and life and me. And he felt like, hey, I got a lot going on with myself, and this was okay for him to just not pursue and ask questions if nobody confront him with it. That was like the easiest route, I guess.
See, me personally, I have, that same similar thing because it was someone had told him that my mom was possibly pregnant, but well, then Taja too, being that she didn't directly say, "Hey, this is your baby," he didn't look bad. He
Right,
just kept going. You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right. And that's what
So
I'm saying. At that time and
Papa
age,
was a Rolling Stone.
you young, you got, a lot going on. You probably dating multiple women. So that was like a little weight off your shoulder, especially if you.
hey, he
So that's why I say I can look at it from a man's perspective, from being, a man, and I say, okay, I can see why it wasn't, you didn't pursue or you didn't ask questions. It was like, oh, okay, well, that's another, less problem I have to worry about. Especially if you got 4 or 5 other women saying, hey, now you the baby dad. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I see that being like, oh, easy for to walk away from or not, question.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I got 2 kids. They grown. Me and my kid's mother, we get into it. Well, back then when we was young dating, and she get mad, she'll tell me stuff like, "Oh, don't worry about taking care of this. Ain't your baby anyway." That's a low blow. That's bad. But she doing that out of anger and frustration because she probably thought I was gonna leave her, or call me cheating. So that was her way of hurting me by saying that these ain't your kids. Don't worry about it. So me, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let me not worry about that and go finish, doing what I'm doing. But at the same time, I know I was with her and I had been involved. So I never doubted that it can be, even though she said it's not. I never put it in my heart that it can be.
Do you believe like after you met him and the man that he showed you who he was when you first met him, like how did that resonate with you? Like how did you feel about the person that um he presented? Because for me, I kind of struggled with his lifestyle for a minute until
Yeah,
I grips with separating father from man.
right. Yeah, kind of the same way. I was like, damn. So through all this and what you've been through, and now that this is how you really is. You like that, right? So like I said, I can't judge him. That's who he is. That's who he is. Like I say, I'm looking at it from a father and son perspective. Like, damn, you don't got no resentment, no sympathy or nothing. He's like, hey man, this is how I am. You accept it or don't, like, this is my life. And I was like, you know what? I get it because I felt that same way at a point where can't nobody tell me now, hey, you don't like it, then leave it alone. If you're gonna deal with it, then that's what it is. So that attitude and ego, I could see it. I was like, okay, I got you.
Very unapologetic.
Unapologetic. You're like, hey, it's my cards on the table. You know what it is that you're getting into. You know what it is to expect and accept it, or don't mess with it. And then you got to make that choice if you want to deal with this guy, knowing this is his personality, or you want to try to change him. You can't change him if this is who you are.
Right.
Yeah, I struggle with that too, and I know I'm getting a different version of him than y'all got when y'all first met him because y'all did
Right.
the work for me.
Right.
So thank
That's
um,
okay.
but he's still very much unapologetic. This is who I am. This is what my past is. Like, these are the facts. And I know for me, I struggle with, there's parts of your story and your personality that are, they just make people kind of pause and be like, oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like, it almost felt like you had to, or at least for me, I felt like I had to defend somebody that I didn't know, that I wasn't even entirely sure how I felt about them, because I'm choosing to get to know them so that I can make that decision. And it's
right.
like, well, if this is what's meeting you, like, why do you want to move forward? And then feeling like you have to kind of like defend this person. And it's like, well, because this is my biological dad. I, I got questions. I need answers. And at least I know what I'm getting. He's not coming out here pretending to be like Saint Peter, and then I find out that like he Casanova, like he out the gate, like
Yeah.
this is who I am. I'm a ladies' man, like all day. And
And
so
that,
that
and that's the same feeling and approach that I had with him. I see him thinking he's gonna be like, I don't know what to expect, but I'm thinking he at least be a little bit more humble than what I heard. Like, hey, I changed my life. I go to church. I'm a one ladies man and this and that. But no, that wasn't the case. He's like, hey, you just met me. I was in my prime then. You just met me where I'm full flex now.
yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of the same vibe I got. I'm thinking like, okay, I want to see if he has some type of resentment or apologies. Like, hey, I'm sorry, this, that. It wasn't that. So I was like, oh, okay, I got it.
Your face be.
Because it's funny because it's like you see it and it's like because we've all experienced the same thing, and it's
Yeah.
like our story is so unique but also so different, you know what I'm saying, but we share so much common ground
Yeah.
in this experience,
Yeah,
and it's like you meet him and you like, okay, he cool to hang out with, but when it's time for you to really get to the the meat of it all, you're like,
yeah, yeah.
dude,
And I'm pretty sure it probably was a little bit more difficult and hard for y'all because y'all girls, so your emotions and sensitive. Me, I got to put on a tough guy like, oh, that's how we getting down all the time. I'm like, damn, that shit hurt like a mother. I'm feeling like a little punk because I'm like, man, I didn't expect that, but okay. you know, I'm like,
right,
okay, I got to sum up. I
yeah,
was like, wow.
it's like, dang, and again, just so unapologetic, and for me coming in as the first girl to walk into this experience, it was like I was crushed, I'm like, I
Yeah,
need daddy, and he like, I'm a man, I'm like you said, Casanova, and I'm like,
yeah, yeah,
it was real disheartening at one point, but again, learning and maturing, and then separating Casanova from Bill Cosby, the
right.
dad, and the dad, the Huxtable, you know,
Yeah,
get it, just trying to figure it out, was like a major transition. But
yeah.
again, he started off, now too, Karan, he started off real raw, because I met him after you. You came before me in the experience.
Right. Oh no, you met him before me, right?
No, I came after you.
Oh, okay.
I came after you, the experience. So, but again, to see his growth from then to now, and now Taja gets an experience him, like I said, totally different. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he's still a tough pill to swallow.
Yes, he's still a character.
He's still, you
yeah.
gotta digest him in pieces because he's still,
That's why I say, I thought it was gonna be a different treatment when he met Taj. I'm just like that. He got on his Playboy shirt and he's still in full form. I'm like, dude, this your first time meeting your daughter, and this how you want to present it. But hey, like I say, that's
but
how he is.
who I am.
Yeah, So you got to learn. Like I said, you got to learn to love it, and forgive, forget, and just like I say, embrace the moments that you create now.
Yeah.
So the experience with I didn't get to make it to that, but the majority of you all got together and be together. So how was it when you met some of your other siblings, Karan? Like, what was your experience with starting meeting
Uh,
some of the other?
well, the first person I met like I said, when I first met him for the first time, I met Corey for the first time too. But see, him and Corey had already had a relationship, I guess, from younger days or young childhood, whatever. So I guess Corey was just trying to see like who is this guy they say that's your son, to see, how we rock. So he embraced me and he accepted me, and I kept in touch with Corey after that more than I did with Greg. So it was like, even though I don't know neither one of them, but I felt like I had a brother, somebody that I had all a long time, but was missing. Even if I didn't
Mm.
have my dad, I had a brother because through him we connected. Then I
Right.
found out about the twins. Then I started chatting with them on the phone. Then I found out we got other brothers and sisters. And like I said, I still haven't talked to the girls. I really don't know nothing about the young blood. I really, you know what I'm saying. But the older ones, I connected with them, and especially the guys, the boys. We kind of stayed tight. And yeah, check in on each other. And then I met you. You was like the second yeah, because I didn't meet Greg and Twin until after I came and visit you. Then I found out about them. So it was Corey, and then I met you. Then I come to find out we got another brother, another sister down the road. So I'm like, okay, we got a big family of siblings.
So
Yeah.
like, if someone you met um has a similar experience, like how would you tell them to work through this type of situation?
Well, like I say, if it's similar to mine, um, I just tell them the same thing like what I went through. Get to know him for who he is and not what he did, and then you make the judgment of if there's somebody you want to be involved with. No matter like I say, it all hurts because we kids at the time and we looking for somebody to fill that void. But you get older, it's kind of you can understand things from a different perspective. So you gotta give a person a chance to prove themselves. Prove themselves.
So how old were you hadn't had your kids before you found out about him, right?
Yeah, I had my son. I didn't have my daughter.
So how did they react to finding out that you
Well,
or even that
well,
you meet
the,
him?
they didn't meet. Well, yeah, my kids. Now he came around when they was young. Like I say, it was very rare that he came and visited. Like after I met him, I didn't hardly see him probably 2 or 3 years at a time here and there. We had conversations over the phone, but as far as visiting and seeing him, that was far in between. But I keep in touch with Corey because Corey, he'll come into town, he'll pull up on me and him hang out. So I keep with him, but my kids didn't really see him until they was like teenage years.
Okay.
My daughter went to her job with him and met him for the first time, and then I took him out to visit my son and grandson when my grandson was like one. That was like the first time that he met them. Really haven't seen them since then. Because like I said, they don't remember him when they was younger.
Okay.
Yeah, they felt like, oh, okay, this your dad. I guess that's our granddad. But there's no relationship to say, oh, let me call my granddaddy or when granddaddy coming. Because we ain't haven't spent that much time with him like that.
Right.
But yeah, they met him. They know of him. But And like I said, they teenage and grown now, so it's like, oh, okay, that's it. You know, yeah.
So what would you like to see happen with us? Like,
Yeah.
as far as from
Like I
your
said, everybody new, trying to get to know each other for the first go around, first time. Really don't get to chat a lot to know what's going on. Don't see each other a lot. So I mean, in the near future, like I said, I think it'd be good for everybody to do a little family gathering, man. Sit down. You can have your one-on-ones and group chats, whatever. Get an idea of what everybody, lifestyle, life like. I mean, regardless, we brothers and sisters. It can't help who the dad is. So yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you the question that Bernadette and I've asked each other. What was your first thought when you first saw me?
Nah, that you Greg daughter. 'Cause we all got glasses and light skin. I say, oh yeah. Ain't no denying that. Hell yeah. I just thought maybe you would probably take it hard because I know how he is. Bernadette don't witness how he is. I said, oh man, she gonna be crushed. I'm like, he go, hey, yeah, but you took it like a champ. I just thought you would probably be like running up out of there crying like, oh hell no. I mean, that's just what I think because I'm saying for the girls, I'm pretty sure it was hard because it was hard for me. So I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
I, honestly, I thought that first time would have been the last time. I say, we ain't gonna hear from her no more. she go, she going MIA. We ain't gonna hear from her. No more. I just thought you was just go to bed, just bad the ship. Like, oh yeah, no, I'm good.
It was a
But
lot.
yeah, like I said, it was a lot. You know what I'm saying? You mean all his, well, not all his siblings, all his kids, but you mean everybody different personalities. We're a little wild. The boys is. We get a little wild. So I was like, man, we got to turn it down a little bit. We don't want to scare the sister off already. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh yeah, these people crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was like, man, I hope we ain't gonna run you off.
the funny thing is like the three of us coming into the loop, the way that we come into the loop, and it's like we look so much like this man.
You
Correct.
do.
For a little bit, if your face had a little bit more feminine features, we would probably be
Right.
triplets.
Triplets.
Triplets, right. And everybody I show pictures and stuff of us, they like, oh yeah, y'all all favorite. Yep. They say y'all definitely his kids. They say all y'all, and then they say he favorite granddad. You ever seen granddad picture, right? They say him and granddad got favorite. He just darker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they definitely say we all got his features and we all look alike.
Because we all blind too.
Yeah.
All,
And
Mhm.
they see the glass. They say, oh yeah, them his kids, because all his kids got glasses.
what I always told them, like if somebody come to you and say you my daddy, ask them to say, let me see your glasses.
Yeah, right.
Because
Exactly.
one of them see out the other person, out the other sibling's glasses. Like,
Right.
yeah, there.
Yeah.
We don't need no DNA. We just need to see your vision.
Go see your vision, right? Go tell it all. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It- It's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, we all got a similar story. Like I say, I met him in my
So,
teenage years.
a question though. Excuse me. So you have a brother,
Yeah.
also. So how did he react to finding out that now you have all these other siblings and you're his only sibling, right?
Yeah.
So how
Well
did he react or respond to that? Like now, like, dang, you got
well
brothers
well me and
outside of
my brother, me and my brother, we kind of like an age gap, you know what I'm saying? I really never bonded with him like hanging out. As far as in the house, but now that I got other siblings, he a little jealous. He is. He a little jealous. I know he is, but I try to still be the bigger brother to him. But he grown now, so he like, oh nigga, go hang with your brother now. Go call your sister. And I'm like, damn, where that come from?
uh,
Like, well, I try to call and hang out with you, but we just don't got the same type of interest, and do the things, same thing. But yeah,
uh,
he got a little jealous streak when I mentioned
he hit me on the phone, or I mentioned I went to see my brother. You know, I could tell he feel a little bad and jealous about it.
Oh,
But
wow.
then, like I said, we never really, had no brother, saying vibe because the age different, and I'm doing my own thing. I really didn't.
Y'all apart?
7 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now he older. Since he got older, we might and not then link up and go to the bar, or I go back spot and play cards. But yeah, we just ain't never really had the same crowd of friends. I was wild and he was trying to, I guess, act like he was a mama's boy. I had to do all the dirt so he know what not to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna thank you for joining us on this
I'm
episode
sorry.
of with Say Mister. We're gonna continue to conversate, but we're gonna stop recording, okay?